Broadcasting direct from Studio 12. You're watching Live with Bruce Gregori and at Jazz.
Well, hello, Facebook. How is everybody today on this Wednesday afternoon? Hoping everybody is doing okay. A lovely spring day out there as it is. And at some point, we'll get to enjoy more of these as the year goes on. I'm not exactly sure what the timeline or the update on that is, but I know it's coming, and I hope that you are as well. So you have, of course, tuned into Live with Bruce Gregori and at Jazz. And of course, we are officially powered up by our friends at Ecamm and Razor's Edge and Ecamm out in the UK. And we're doing some great stuff with Ecamm, and I have a couple new things going on with them that I'm excited about as well. Hope everybody again is okay. I got play some tunes for you today. And, we got to say thanks to our friends over at Razor's Edge. There they are. And West Coast over in Wisconsin area, Wyoming area, I want to say. And great company. And I'd love to, do work with them because they really provide some great products. Of course, I wouldn't be anywhere without my friends GHS Strings. The Bruce Gregori signature set at 15 to 54. If you're interested in any of that and the science behind guitar string tension, let me know because I might be able to help you out with that. Of course, Benedetto Guitars. We're going to have Jackson Evans on the show coming up Monday. Jackson is one of the main men at Benedetto and also a really good player himself. And he's going to talk everything he knows about Benedetto and what's going on. What's going on with Damian Maitland, the head luthier there, and Bob Benedetto, and of course Howard Paul, who is the main man at Benedetto these days, and what they have on the horizon, and what's happening during their shutdown. Hello, Ken. Good to see you, brother. And of course, Speak Friends Cables. They are cloth-covered wired nitrogens, and of course, some of the best cables on the planet. Check them out. There is a promo code for those. If you're interested in any of those cables, please let me know. And, of course, my man Peter Hendrickson, who is doing okay. He's out in Arvada, Colorado, and he is keeping it real. We talked to him Monday. Everything good in the world of Hendrix amplifiers and what's happening with them these days. Now, Peter also hosts the Rocky Mountain Archtop Festival, which happened last year, I believe, and is going to be happening this year, September 12th, 13th, 14th. I think those are the days. I believe it is either a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm not exactly sure of those days, but he tells me that it was a wild success. We had players like Jimmy Bruno and Bruce Foreman there, and of course, a lot of great endorsees from Hendrix and all the amplifiers they play. I myself am hoping to get out there this year. Last year, I was working a little bit and couldn't get to the show, but hopefully this year we'll see what the travel restrictions are. He tells me right now that hotels are still taking reservations and all the venues and the support money that is being provided for those are coming out. And of course, when we talk to Ken, there's Peter. 11th, 12th, and 13th. Thanks. Yeah, I was close. I knew there was teens in there, but thanks, brother. And, of course, he clarified that for us, but he let us know that those dates are still a go. And what I was going to say is we have Ken Laster on, too, and he was telling us the same thing. Many of the dates that are provided for the Hartford Jazz Society and their kickoff for the summer series, which starts after 4th of July are still currently on, and we just kind of have to wait and see. In addition to some of the free options they have at the Hartford Public Library sites and throughout, check those out at hartfordjazzsociety.com and all that. You got it, Pete. You got it. Oh, things are good. And like that. So I think I'm gonna play some tunes and like that, and sit back and enjoy yourself, and hopefully we'll do something fun, you know. Yeah. Oh man, it takes me back. The tune Blues for Alice, written none other than Mr. Charlie Parker in 1951. Thank you, Tom. Good to see you. Good to see you, Rachel. Brian, good to see you, my man. Hanging in. We got a lot of good fans out today. Good to see everyone. And Blues for Alice, one of the greatest tunes, I feel, written Charlie Parker and his geniusness, really basically taking a blues in F and just creating every bit of harmony he can to do what's called back cycling back to what we'd call the 4 chord. So it's kind of a really interesting kind of take on a blues, starting with a major chord, and but just a really fun tune to play. And you know, his melodies, the head of the tune, as they call it, are a study in themselves and so complex to play on the instrument, on guitar, and from what I understand, on horns as well. But you know, just the way that he perceived the intervals and how the melody worked in his head, just a really cool thing. So if you weren't here at the beginning of the show, I got to give one more plug to get that date right. Peter Hendrickson is here tuning in, and it is September 11th, 12th, and 13th. Make sure I got that right for the Rocky Mountain Archtop Festival out and around Arvada or near Arvada, Colorado. Oh man, and that's still on and happening. So if you're a player, Johnny, if you're out there, or Reed Miller, if you're out there, check it out. Might be a road trip in the works, man, in the works. So like that. I think I'm gonna play another tune, and I think I'm going to play a tune that is also another blues that I haven't played before on this program, but you might not recognize it. Is not quite as well known, but is a burning tune, and I'll tell you what record it came from when I'm done. Oh, yeah, man. B-flat blues, nothing like it. The tune is called Miss Anne's Tempo. And if you have not checked that tune out, written in about 1955, 1956. I do believe the actual release date, though, was closer to 1957. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Good to see you, Michael. Thanks, man. The tune Miss Anne's Tempo, written by Mr. Grant Greene. If you have not checked out the album Grant Stand, I will. Actually, the album is Grant's Last Stand. I believe that's the album it comes off of. That is a fantastic album, and just burning. Nothing like that tune. He also Bernice Kebnar, one of the women that wrote Close Your Eyes, also wrote Lullaby of the Leaves, and I believe he covers it on that album, or it might be another album. But that catalog, Blue Note recording, that time period, mid to later 50s, check out the Grant Greene catalog. You will not be disappointed. He burns the house down on that tune. When I heard that on Grant's Last Stand, I believe that's the album recording that it is. I have Grandstand in my mind because there's another tune on the Grandstand album, on the last cut on the album, which the tune itself escapes me, but it's also a B-flat blues. But organ trio kind of set up, and he just burns the house down. Grant Greene, he was a crazy dude. He lived into well into the 80s, I believe, is when he was still living and still playing, but kind of playing funk and like soul music at that point. But he was so poor as a player in the city that he couldn't afford to get a button on his guitar so he could have the strap on. You see old pictures of Wes Montgomery with it tied to the headstock, but they actually used a cord that came with a guitar strap. But Grant didn't have that situation, so he tied it to the headstock. You'll see pictures of him with the guitar strap tied up there, and just kind of gives you an appreciation of what living like that was in those times and being a working musician. We think we have it hard today, but not so much. So like that. Yep. So thanks, Brian. I appreciate it for the nice comments. And, of course, Tom, you're always a good listener. Hoping to get out there and see you on the live scene again. Of course, one of our hangs, Delish Lounge, has decided to do other things, so it's not going to be there. But there are other places. We actually had a whole bunch of times scheduled at Kinsman Brewery. And the first one going to be the first Saturday in April, and of course that didn't happen, and like that. So that's how it goes. But there'll be other times and other dates. So I'm gonna play another tune. This is a tune by Gigi Grace, and it was written in 1953. Yeah, man, Delish, Tom. Yeah, Delish. They closed their doors, decided it just wasn't for them, and too bad. I mean, it was kind of a cool place, and we had a lot of fun playing there, and but I think that they had other things going on, so like that. So like that. Anyway, but it's time to play another tune. is Minority. That's right, Ken Lester, you got it right. Yes, that's right. I did know that. Gigi did live in Hartford for a while, and I did not know that still some family here. However, I did know that he was here for a while, so like that. But fantastic tune. If you can check out some of the recordings of that tune, you can definitely hear some great stuff. And so many great, Clifford Brown, I think, might have been one of the first recordings. Not as sure. Ken, you might know better than me. Yes, it is a great tune. It's a great tune. It has some feel to it that many tunes don't have. And there's just something about that tune that I've not met too many cats that don't dig it and don't like hearing it. But I myself do. And it's funny because I go in and out of playing it, but, just kind of feeling it tonight for kind of a closeout. And it was a tune that a lot of times on Wednesday night, Ken, you came to the Half Door a lot. We're kind of, dedicating this night to them, trying to help them get back on their feet. And hopefully we'll be back out there on Wednesdays coming up, once this is all over in the U.S. of A. But until that time, we're kind of here and doing this thing. But I do appreciate you all stopping by. Of course, it's always blessed on a day that I can actually play the instrument and play for you folks. I would be out in the scene kind of doing that. Yeah, man. And I know, Ken, it's definitely kind of touch and go about that. But I think we're going to be back on once this is all over. But, play it by ear. And, I think we're going to have one heck of a party that first night back, trying to get all the cats back on the scene and playing and like that. But with that said, it's time for me to bolt. And, I do appreciate you all stopping in. I will be here tomorrow. Now, tomorrow is a great show, so I encourage you to please stop by. If you're a musician, have your questions ready. If you play guitar or another instrument. But we do have Barry Greene on the show tomorrow from Florida, and he is one crazy burning guitar player. I have to bow my head to him because he is a crazy man. And Barry will kind of amaze you, and I don't know what he's going to talk about. He's a true improviser, so he may talk guitar. He just may want to talk about, who knows, world events. But he's a great guy. Tune in. I probably won't be playing too much. Maybe we can get him to play a tune or two for us. It's going to be via Skype, so we'll kind of have to take that into consideration. But like that. And so he'll be on 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm looking forward to talking with him. I myself am a user of his particular website, so I have the utmost respect for him in terms of an educator, a teacher, and a guitarist. Just fantastic. And he is a Benedetto user as well, so I got to ask him a little bit about his guitars and all that. So please tune into that. And before I go, I ask that you just check out my YouTube page. We are kind of burning the likes down the scene here, and we're trying to reach the 1,000 like mark this week. So we're at almost half of that. We kind of hit half our goal. We're almost at 500. So please go to Bruce Gregori on YouTube, throw it a like, and subscribe to the channel. Watch a video. And every video on the channel, every video that is the broadcast are all on the channel. So, they're all out there, all the rebroadcasts, and they are uncut. So mistakes and all, you get the whole 9 yards. So if you want to hear everything that happens and hear how poorly it happens again, you can go out there and visit it. They are unedited. Sans a couple of little different things that happened with sound issues and that kind of thing. But for the most part, all the playing's out there. So please go out there, throw it a subscribe and a like. I appreciate that as we can try to meet our goal of 1,000 viewers this week. That's the goal. So we'll see if we can make it like that. But I got to say goodbye. I will see you tomorrow. That is 6:30 p.m. at Jazz Live with Bruce Gregori. And, of course, Mr. Barry Greene on the program. Please stop by and say hello to Barry. He is one crazy cat, and he is very interested in coming on. We had to reschedule him a couple times because of the Skype connection, but he's definitely looking forward to come on. So on that note, I will see you on the Flippy Flop tomorrow. Peace.
Bruce Gregori, video on demand. www.brucegregori.vhx.tv